Hello, my name is Martin, and I would like to present a Nexineo computer classroom to you. The Nexineo system is based on sharing the performance from a single Nexigo server to multiple users via Neo virtual desktop devices. This results in significant operational savings for schools, a healthier environment for students, more efficient digital learning, and last but not least, considerable environmental savings. Students use Neo virtual desktop devices instead of desktop computers attached to the back of the monitor using a VESA mount. Neo virtual desktop devices are powered by a Raspberry Pi microcomputer and come in a high-quality housing. Neo virtual desktop devices use the performance of a Nexigo server. The Nexigo server looks like a regular desktop computer, and its performance can be shared among 30 users at the same time. The Nexigo server is built using top-of-the-range components from renowned manufacturers and comes pre-installed with the Windows Server operating system. The Nexineo system also includes a Nexiboard application. With the Nexiboard management console, the teacher can keep track of the student's work, making the teaching process more efficient. To make the classroom as easy to install as it is to use, our customers can find detailed user manuals and instructions on our shop.nexineo.com website. The first manual contains the instructions for the safe unpacking of individual components of the classroom. You can see that the entire Nexineo classroom kit comes packed in a single large box, which contains safely packed Neo virtual desktop devices, an Nexigo server, and the necessary network components. The Nexigo server is placed under the box with the Neo virtual desktop devices. There are tie wraps on the Nexigo server box to make it easier to pull the server out of the large box. After removing the packaging materials from the Nexigo server, the filling material from inside the server must also be removed as shown on page 5 of this manual. These pictures show that the space between the individual components of the Nexigo server is filled with a bubble wrap to prevent damage during transport. Make sure you have removed all bubble wraps from the server before its first use. Each box containing the Neo virtual desktop device also includes a VESA mount with screws, a power supply, and a micro HDMI cable. If the customer wishes to connect older monitors that do not have HDMI ports, the Neo virtual desktop device can be connected using a reducer sold separately in the Nexineo eShop. Once all products are unpacked, their physical installation follows, which 2 technicians manage to complete in a few hours. A step-by-step guide is included in the installation and operating manual. Page 2 of this manual contains detailed instructions on how to prepare a classroom for the installation of the Nexineo system. For example, that each desk on which a Neo virtual desktop device is placed must have 2 power sockets, one for the monitor and one for the Neo virtual desktop device, and the wiring must be at least category 5E, as well as all other necessary information on how to prepare the computer classroom. Page 3 shows the wiring of all network elements. The first image shows how to connect an Nexineo classroom with a maximum of 22 Neo virtual desktop devices. The next image shows how to connect more than 22 Neo virtual desktop devices. The precise connection of individual network elements is described on the following pages. Here you can see how to connect the router, switches, and the Neo virtual desktop device, and how to mount the Neo device to the monitor using a VESA mount. Then there is the description of how to unpack and install the Nexigo server. Page 11 contains information about connecting individual peripherals. The software installation instructions manual describes all the steps you have to make after the physical installation of all components. The Nexigo server comes pre-installed with the Windows Server operating system and the Nexiboard management console. The first pages describe the basic settings of the operating system, such as changing the password, time and region, system language. Starting on page 11, you can learn how to complete installing the pre-installed Nexiboard management console. The description of the installation without an Active Directory domain starts on page 12, followed by the installation of the Nexiboard Management Console, which also involves connecting the Nexigo server to Active Directory, which starts on page 19. The guide continues with the configuration of Neo Virtual Desktop devices on page 33. This part contains recommended settings for their use both without a domain and with an Active Directory domain. Page 38 describes how to install applications. Applications can only be installed on the Nexigo server by the administrator. If a teacher needs to use a new application in the classroom, they ask the administrator to install it. Once the installation is completed, the administrator places the application link to the student's desktop folder. The newly installed application is now ready for teachers and students to use. If, following the installation and placing the application link in the student desktop folder, the application does not work on students' desktops, it is necessary to check the location of that application's source files. Most applications install in the Program Files folder. If the application has installed in a different folder, such as the administrator's user folder, the folder containing the application files needs to be moved to the Program Files folder. Some applications ask for a destination folder during their installation process, or they ask if you want to install the application for current user or for all users. If the application is to be used by students too, always select the For All Users option. The student desktop folder is available on the teacher's desktops as well. Using this folder, the teachers can choose as necessary which links will be displayed on the students' desktops. Students cannot delete such links from their desktop. The activation of Windows licenses starts on page 39. You need to buy your Microsoft licenses from your local distributor. They are not included in the package. The description of a MikroTik router setup starts on page 57. To put it simply, this manual describes in detail everything that customers need to configure on the Nexigo server in order for the Nexineo classroom to function properly. After you go through all the steps in this manual, the classroom is ready to use. With the help of these manuals, anyone can successfully install the whole Nexineo computer classroom in less than a day, and the classroom is immediately set up for an effective teaching process in schools or training centers. Our customers can choose between Nexigo and Nexigo Performance classrooms, which differ in the amount of performance output available to individual users. The Nexigo computer classrooms are an ideal solution for elementary schools and non-technical secondary schools that do not use demanding applications. The Nexigo classrooms have been installed in hundreds of schools across several countries and run hundreds of teaching applications. Schools that require more demanding applications, such as technical secondary schools, can choose our Nexigo Performance system, which can run even such graphically demanding applications as AutoCAD, Revit, Inventor, and many more. However, these classrooms are not suitable for complex editing and rendering of high-resolution videos. Customers who are interested in specific specifications for individual components can refer to the datasheets available on our website, which detail all the parameters of individual classroom components. The Neo Virtual Desktop Device datasheet contains all information from dimensions and power consumption to individual ports on the Neo Virtual Desktop device. It also contains information on the required Microsoft Windows licenses or how the peripherals connected to the Neo Virtual Desktop device work. Peripherals that can be connected via USB include keyboard, mouse, flash disk, or headset. Headphones can be connected via 3.5mm jack. The datasheets of Nexigo servers include technical specifications of individual components as well as the necessary Microsoft Windows licenses. The Nexigo and Nexigo Performance servers use the top-of-the-range components from renowned manufacturers. These datasheets contain the primary used components and their alternatives that we use if the primary components are unavailable. All components used in the Nexigo servers are thoroughly tested before inclusion in the technical specifications so that we can guarantee the highest possible stability and performance of Nexigo servers for our customers. In addition to Nexigo servers and Neo Virtual Desktop devices, our eShop also offers various accessories. go to Products, Accessories, where you can find accessories compatible with and tested for use in Nexeneo classrooms. The Frequently Asked Questions tab contains solutions to most common minor issues or technical requirements. For example, in How to add keyboard language, you can find instructions on how to add keyboard language, or what to do when a Neo Virtual Desktop device cannot log in, if the server cannot connect to the internet, and many more useful solutions. If you cannot find a solution to your problem in our FAQs, you can contact our customer support. To report a servicing issue, go to our website at www.nexeneo.com and choose Customer Support in the top right corner. You can then choose from three options: regular service, immediate support, or warranty support. Regular service is intended for our customers who use one of our service care programs and comes free with every new Nexeneo classroom for 1 month from its installation. If you want to know more about our service care programs, you can find their offer on our website going to Services and then Service. You can choose from 3 service programs: Mini, Standard, and Premium. Here you can compare their benefits and choose the one that best fits your needs. Customers with the service program receive our priority support. If you do not use regular service, or if your free warranty support period has already expired but you need immediate assistance, you can use our immediate support charged at a specific hourly rate. If you are only troubled by some minor technical issue, claim, and the warranty period still applies to you, select warranty support. Once you choose your option, enter your contact details and describe your problems. The more details you provide, the faster we can resolve your issues. I hope this video has been useful and will help you quickly navigate through the installation or use of the Nexeneo system. The Nexeneo system is used by thousands of students across Europe, and we believe that Nexeneo can improve the quality and effectiveness of digital teaching in your school too. Thank you for your attention.